Hey y'all. So I decided to come back and revamp my podcast. Maybe not so much the premise of my podcast. We will still be talking about current events, relationships, politics, and anything that's on my mind. I have decided, however, to change the name and also add it to a few more social networks. Now, before, if you ever listened to my podcast, it was called The In Between on Spotify and YouTube. And now the new name is going to be Puff Chicken and Dick on the side. Now, how did I come up with this name? Well, me and my homegirl Lala was driving to DC, and I was puffing as I do. And I said to Lala, we gotta stop and get something to eat. And she said, let me guess, fried chicken? And I'm like, yes. So we both start laughing. And she said, I think puff is your fried chicken and you're good to go. And I said, well, don't forget the deek on the side. And of course, we started laughing again. So I said to her, I think that'd be a pretty good name for my podcast. Maybe I'll rename it. And so I decided to rename the podcast. I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl Lala and thank her for her inspiration. In the meantime, in between time, what's been going on with y'all out there? I know life has been lifing for many people, and this world has been a little less caring and a lot more crazier than normal. We've all had to adjust to living in new normals, and that hasn't been easy either. For instance, I now work two full time jobs. Now, thank God they're both remote, but still, two full time jobs. I work 12-hour days, Monday through Friday, and it definitely has its wear and tear. But the reality is, in order to have the life I want and get the things that I want, I need to make six figures or more. And I wasn't making that at one job. So I decided to get two. And in the meantime, I was also finishing my certification to become a life coach. So now I have three jobs. I have to work on my life coach business and start to gain clients there. And hopefully, the life coach will become my only business and will be fruitful and I'll be able to help many people. But until then, I'll keep all my jobs and all the balls up in the air. So, not to mention, I just got out of a 6 year relationship. And even though I feel like that was the best decision I made for myself, still, life has been lifing for me. But I am feeling very optimistic about the future and I'm feeling good. I think that all things are going to work out for the best. I think that all things will work out greatly. And this is just finally me understanding why things had to happen the way they needed to. And that, everyone is not meant to come with us. And sometimes when we're moving on to that next level, we just can't take everybody with us. So even though it's sad and we have to let people go, you know that they're kind of holding you back and dragging you down. And if you don't let them go, you'll be back down here. So you better, if you're going up, cut that dead weight to keep on moving. But before I go off on a tangent here, we'll come back to that in another episode because tonight's episode, we're going to talk about people trying to dim your light or determine who you are based on their beliefs of you or even what they think of themselves. So recently, I was talking to a family member and they were telling me some great news about an investment they made. And I was giving them, congratulations, their big ups, kudos, everything. I'm one of those people who always want to see everyone win, and I'm happy when people are winning, whether it's family, friends, whomever. So as she's sharing her great news with me, I decided to share some great news about some things that I was planning and future endeavors with her. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is once my apartment lease is up, I can go ahead and put all my furniture in storage and start traveling the world more or less staying, places 2 to 3 months as opposed to a week or two, like vacationing. And, this is just something that's kind of always been a dream of mine. And if I have to work, at least I'm working remotely and it looks like I can finally make this dream come to fruition. So I was really excited about this, telling her about it. And she's telling me, well, I don't know how you're going to be able to do that. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you would do anything like that. I'm not trying to be funny, but you're just a regular person. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, yes, you are. We're both regular people. We make regular money. We're regular people who can't live like that. And I said, I'm not regular. I'm extraordinary or extraordinary, whatever you want to call it. But the one thing I'm not is regular. My money may be regular at this time, but me, I'll never be regular. And I said the way that I would be able to do it is because the same way that I work here and pay my bills here, I could do the same thing wherever I'm staying at the moment. And since I won't be paying rent back here, my only real bill would be my furniture storage. So again, I would have the money in order to pay for wherever I'm staying. And again, she's still like, she can't understand how I could afford it. It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, I don't understand how it doesn't make sense to her if I'm not paying bills here and I'm still working my 12-hour days, then I would be able to afford to pay bills someplace else. And, she just said, well, I make more money than you and I can't do it. So I don't understand how you can financially do it. And one of the things I could not understand was why she was so upset by this and why this even perturbed her so much. Like, it was really beyond me. And she basically tried to pigeonhole me and put me into her box as a regular person. And as she would say, because of the fact that she thinks regular people can't travel the world and live wherever they want to. And I reminded her that I traveled the world currently, and the only difference is I'm not staying, months upon time anywhere, but it's kind of like the same thing. The only difference is that I'm not going on vacation. When she travels the world, she's going on vacation. So she's spending more money. She's shopping. She's going on excursions. She's doing this. She's doing that, like all people do when they go on vacation. But my mindset is this is my home for the time being. So I don't need to go outside every day and do excursions and all this other stuff. I'm still going to be working my 12-hour shifts. So the only time I'll really get out will be on the weekends, like I do here in the States. But long story short, she still couldn't understand it. She couldn't understand my thought process. And I told her I would still be stacking my dough, still making my investments, saving money, doing what I need to do here to become fruitful, no matter where I'm at in this world. And she may never agree with what I'm saying because some people's minds just only see and comprehend what they allow it to. And that's just is what it is. But I say all of this to say to you guys, don't ever let someone else project onto you their beliefs of who you are, what you can be or cannot be, what you should be doing or should not be doing, or anything of that nature. Whatever is for you is for you, and whatever is for them is for them. And she may not even have understood that we have with two completely different lifestyles. She's a married woman with a husband, a home, a mortgage, things of that nature. It's not that easy just to get up and go when you have things kind of tying you in one place. Where with me, on the other hand, I'm a single woman and I have a rent. I don't have a mortgage. So again, once my rent ends or my lease ends, so does my rent until I choose to rent somewhere else. So I can move more freely. I don't have a mate or someone to answer to or ask or run it by or whatever the case may be. So again, I can move more freely. But what I realized in that moment was how freeing of a feeling that was to me, to not have anyone to have to worry about, to not have anything necessarily tying me down or holding me here in the States, but that I was actually free to maneuver how I wanted to maneuver as long as I could work there and make my money. I could go wherever I wanted to go. So that was a completely freeing moment to me. And I I understood that she just was not going to understand what I was saying to her. She increasingly became perturbed and basically just kept saying that she wasn't trying to offend me, but she just couldn't get it. So we ended the conversation there. And what I figured is, hey, what works for one may not work for another. But the other night, I had my girlfriends over, some good girlfriends, people I really rock with. And I told them about this scenario, this whole situation that happened, just to kind of get their opinions of it. And like their first response was like, what? Because one, they couldn't understand how it was that she wasn't really understanding what I was saying in this age of digital nomads and expats all over the world. They one couldn't understand that. But then two, they questioned, was she jealous? And I said, well, I don't know, but if you ask her if she was jealous of me, she would say, what do I have to be jealous of? I have a husband, I own a house, I have this, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So what do I have to be jealous of her about? And I agree. All those things are accurate. All those things are factual. Those are things that she does have. So I see no reason as to why she reacted the way she reacted or why it upset her so much. But it was just me wanting to live my life. I didn't ask her to pay for it. I didn't ask her to fund it. So I was just confused by the whole situation. But we'll call it whatever, whatever we want to call it. We'll just call it that. But the reality is all that did was put a battery pack on my back and charge me up because basically somebody just told me I couldn't do something that I want to do. And as a Leo, that's a challenge. You just challenged me. You told me I couldn't do something that I want to do. So now let me show you better than I could tell you. Now, the reality is, I'm not going to go get up and run to another country, for 2 to 3 months on a whim. However, I'm going to continue to do as I've been doing, planning it, researching it, investigating, and doing what I need to do to determine where my next country will be because I'm going to live my life to the fullest and do the things that I want to do. And I ask all of you that are listening to live out your dreams. Do the things that you want to do in your life. And that means no matter what your friends, families, naysayers, whoever has something to say, don't listen to them. Use that as the ammunition, the fuel you need to light that fire under you to get to where you want to get to do the things that you want to do. Nobody should be able to tell you how to live your life. As far as we all know, we all only have one life to live. No matter what your beliefs are, whether you believe that we're going to come back as butterflies or whether you believe in heaven or hell, the reality is that we all know we have this one life to live. And you better not let anyone else dictate how you live it. You live your life the best for you, and you ride that shit till the wheels fall off because it's yours, nobody else's. And on that note, I'm going to end it here. But as I said at the top of the episode, I do want to make you guys aware that I am now a certified life coach. And I'm specializing in personal development and also relationship development or issues that you may be going through. If you're interested in booking a session, please inbox me or DM me. The first session is a free session. It's just kind of us getting to know each other, seeing if it would even be a good fit. So you don't have to worry about paying for anything that may not be a good fit. So again, the first session is a free session. So please inbox or DM me, and I would love to tell you more about it and get you on my calendar. But until we speak again, and the time is yours and mine, I'll ask you to keep your head up and always shine. And thank you so much for joining Puff Chicken and a side of the. Hold on. Until next episode of Puff Chicken and the on the side. I'll see you guys later. Peace.